Hi, my name is Domenic. I was born and raised a Catholic. Uh, like many others during my college years and young adult years, it wasn't that important to me. I didn't reject my faith, but it wasn't that important to me. And gradually, I returned to the church. Um, in 1995, I had been searching for an answer from my father. The previous year, my father had just retired, went in for knee replacement surgery, and was hospitalized for 6 months. Nearly died twice during that time, lost part of the leg, and came out really impaired. I worked in medical research for years for the VA, and I knew there wasn't an answer there. So I was searching, and one week I saw ad in a church bulletin. The church that I was going to, St. William in Chicago on the Northwest Side, that said there was going to be healing service there. And I said, I think I'm going to go check this out because I was looking for something for my father. So I went to that, and the Lord is always making good things out of bad events. And I went to this service, and it was actually a healing service with a special devotion to Mary Immaculate Queen. And during that service, I had a very profound spiritual experience. I suddenly was filled with peace and just a feeling of intense love. And I couldn't explain it. After that service, I felt like I needed more. So I sought out the ministry. I sought out Mary Immaculate Queen and started going more to some of the prayer services they were having. And then 2 years later, I moved into a new house and I decided to have my home enthroned, welcoming Sacred Heart of Jesus and Mary Immaculate Queen into my home. And that's when I started noticing the change. I started getting friends, many of whom were not very devout, but friends and family saying, there's something special about your house. There's always joy here and peace. I'm not the type to kind of like just start getting really strong on trying to convince people. I just said, for me, this is proof. There's something special about this, and Mary is working through my home to draw people. She brought me a lot of peace. Before I knew her, I think I was like many other people. I had a lot of anxiety problems. I actually suffered from depression, and I could easily get rattled by things. Um, and in 2014, I went in for a medical exam, and routine, my leg was bothering me, and they found that I had a major blood clot in a leg that was traveling up to my lungs. And they told me, you can't go home. We have to admit you right away. I had gone to this exam alone, so here I am now. They wheeled me, and they said, you can't walk. They wheeled me over to admitting, and they said, wait here, they'll admit you. And I'm just sitting there, and they actually told me, we can't let you move because if the blood clot moves, you could die immediately. And I'm sitting there and waiting for admitting, and I had this incredible sense of peace, like everything was going to be okay. I actually waited 4 hours to be admitted after being told that something like this could actually happen. And it was like something was just protecting me, and I knew that was Mary. I knew that was Mary comforting me and giving me the confidence, giving me the peace, letting me know you're going to get through this. That was one of my times where I felt this profound sense that she's working in my life. But looking back on it, I saw that was really happening a lot, where I wasn't getting that rattled with things. I had more confidence. If something bad happened in my life, I bounced back more quickly. Um, how do I bring this to others? That's a good question because I'm not one to kind of like stand out at the street corner and tell people, here, you need to convert. But what I started noticing, my immediate family, I'm about the only one that's going to church. But I remember one time I gave one of my older nieces, I'd come back from Lord's and I brought them some religious gifts and I gave both of them rosaries. And I thought, I'm not gonna be heavy about this. I said, this is a souvenir. It's been blessed. You should have this. There may be a time when you may need this. And I just let that go. About a year later, my older niece, who had been going through a bad time, confided in me and she said, I pray every night. First time she ever admitted that. And I pray because you also gave me a little statue of Our Lady of Fatima. And I pray before those. She doesn't go to church regularly, but I thought, this is working. And I've seen so many countless other instances of that where just the example, the centeredness that I have somehow is being noticed by people where they're getting drawn into that.